Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Good morning, people. How are you guys doing today? We're starting our Wednesday telecast and stuff a little early. We're at 7:30 in the morning here at my time, Eastern time. But Mr. Harvey is here again. He's sitting there in his chair. He's been up. He's been up since 4 o'clock this morning, getting ready to do our telecast today. And he's itching to be doing this every day. So look for you might be seeing us on YouTube recorded every day now instead of 2 times a week.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot going on, especially since now the early voting and stuff is happening, and there is so much stuff happening and stuff constantly that we have to talk about and everything that concerns our community. Especially we got a really important thing going on, and I know that everybody, if you watching the news and stuff now, you have been inundated with this what's this guy's name, Khashoggi or Shashuga or whatever it is. The Washington Post journalists and stuff who the Saudi Arabians and stuff,
stories on them, man.
They assassinated him. So Mr. Harvey kind of mentioned that to me this morning before and during our pre-telecast that this man is doing this, but I guess we have to understand that by him being a journalist, it's an attack on all of them. Usually if anything happened to one of those journalists and stuff, all the media gets upset. I don't care whether they Fox News or whoever. They are concerned about journalists because that's part of their group, and this man is part of their group, so they are anybody who's attacked in their group, they really spend a lot of time and stuff dealing with it. So we can expect to be seeing that for a while. But the next biggest thing and stuff and everything that I've been seeing is early voting.
Well, that's a big thing too, and early voting is very important. And if you haven't gotten out there now, don't wait too late, because right now is the time to get out there, so you don't have to stand in line all the time, and just get out there and go vote right now. Just go to the polls. Take a day off. Take a half a day off. Take an hour. It only takes but a few minutes. So we gotta do that. But getting back to that story though, Ed, from all the reports and things I've been reading and just watching on TV, it seems like to me that this journalist was actually, I was trying to find out some of his background, but, he's actually, a foreign American citizen. And he was all up in the Saudi Arabia's grill, and he doesn't like the way his people is being treated. And he was trying to find some answers or get on this new installed prince that's in charge. And I guess the guy didn't like what he was doing or what he was saying, what he was writing about, because he was putting it all in the American people's face, letting them know that, all kind of different things are happening to his people. And basically, he was an enemy of his own country or his own environment, and he was putting it all in the Washington Post. And so he became a columnist for the Washington Post talking about this. And the thing about it is that these Saudi Arabia, these people, the reason why they're so rich, is because the American people went over there and started exploring oil, and then they end up working it out where they start controlling the oil, and that's how they became. They are so many people there are multimillionaires of families. It's a family that's running that whole country, and the people have to do what they say. The women can't do anything. They can't drive. Some of them can, but most of them can't drive. They're going to get the education that they need. They're putting hundreds of thousands of people in jail if you come against their principles. And while they go all over the world traveling on their private jets and doing their thing, all kind of lasciviousness, gambling, dealing with prostitutes, movie stars, and concerts and all that stuff. So they are basically, dictators, although they work under a monarchy, but they are basically dictators, and they have billions and billions of dollars invested into the United States, billions of dollars. And these people, because they have so much money invested in America, and 45, because years ago they bought a whole floor from Trump Towers, in Trump Towers. So 45 owed him big time because he helped them when he was really didn't have any money. They helped him. And they get a lot of money from these people because they got the money to burn, because, really all they do is just, they got all their oil refineries and everything, and they ship oil, millions of gallons of oil a year over here. So, basically we owe them and they owe us, but we don't need them. They need us more than we need them because we use their oil. And if we don't buy their oil, they go broke. Or I should say they don't make as much money.
Well, Ted, you kind of simplified something that is becoming, as the years and decades and stuff go by, a little bit more complicated. They as you said, they're a dictator monarch where they have their rulers and stuff who rule, but there's more than one ruling prince and stuff there in that country. They have something like 3,000 or 4,000 princesses in that country and stuff and everything, who have their little many kingdoms and stuff going on there in Saudi Arabia. But yes, you're right. We are less now. If this happened, 10 or 15 years ago and stuff and everything, yeah, we would be very, very, very dependent upon Saudi Arabia and what's going on. And right now we're not, because we are producing a lot of oil ourselves. The shale oil that's going on that they've got, and a bunch of other renewable energy things that have taken over our consumption of oil. So our consumption of oil is going down, but they also have a wild card sitting out there that they get money and stuff from too. We can't forget about China and that whole big deal there when you're talking about Saudi Arabia and what's going on. But getting back to that journalist and stuff, yeah, you're right. This Crown Prince and stuff didn't like it. Trump has a lot of interest and stuff there. His nephew and stuff and everything is supposed to be very good friends with this Crown Prince, and they are sharing money. And Trump's not going to give up his money and everything. That's because some old fat journalist got killed. That's what he's actually saying. He's not. Yeah, his son-in-law. He's not giving up any money because of that, and that they don't. He doesn't care about it, so he's hoping that this stuff go away just like everything else. And he's using the same thing that happened with this Supreme Court justice and stuff that just got nominated or whatever. That this Crown Prince is being indicted and stuff and everything for this and that and nothing. We know that what he's talking about is a bunch of bull. But that's what he uses and stuff and everything to keep himself justified, you might say, his not becoming too involved and stuff in it. He did send Mike Pompeo there and stuff yesterday to Saudi Arabia and everything, and they made a big showing out of it and everything, and they're going to keep on going and keep throwing a little whatever that is out there. But eventually, nothing is going to happen to that Crown Prince. We know it. he's not going to be indicted about anything or whatever. He just did what he did, and he's going to find people to pay them to deal with his how they look at him or whatever. He's going to find these folks and stuff who cover up, bad stuff that being said about rich folks and stuff out there. So all they're doing is hoping that they can throw out some kind of rogue killers and stuff out there. And we all know that he told them to kill that man. But man,
they claim they found 7 people, and maybe they decided
7 out of the 15. Yeah.
They claim that they found 7 of them, and they might be just enemies or whatever. Put them up there just for show, or they might just bring them on in and just whatever. And even if they did it, they don't care. They'll slaughter them too.
Absolutely. but they did. These killers and stuff did what the Crown Prince wanted. The Crown Prince is not going to get rid of his killers. He, I don't know anything about him, and if they get too hot for him and everything, he'll hide them somewhere. Yeah, you go off and hide. Here's some money. You go hide until the things cool off, and then we'll bring you back. Because they are his assassins.
But you got to look at it like this. Now we are in a real pickle here in the world. We got gangsters and that are politicians, and politicians are gangsters, and we got gangsters that are gangsters, and we got crooks and connivers and people wanting to try to get control of as much money as they can. You got all these people paying money to go in and get influence for different votes. All kind of things are going on in this country and in the world that are trying to keep their power and their money. And the average person is not really keeping up with it. There's a lot of people that know what's going on, but they don't really care. They don't really care. As long as their lifestyle is the same, they got their 2 cars, they got their house, they got a little money in the bank. They can take their vacations, and on the weekends they can go out boating or go to the beach or go to a concert. They're not that concerned. And they don't realize that the underpinnings of all of this, with all of this privatizing the jails and trying to privatize hospitals and Medicare, all of this Medicare and all that stuff. The underpinnings is, not supporting the school system. The underpinning is that you're leaving out a group of people, millions of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that can really help this country and make it a better country if they did the right things. But only thing they're concerned about is their own little quick fixes. And one thing that I've this by reading the history of China and all of this, and there's hundreds and hundreds of books on China. When they think, man, they think 500 years. They plan for 500 years out. They got so many plans and so many things that they want to do, so many things to make it better for their country. And, that's the way it is. America only plans for 8 years, if that. 6 weeks, a month. Sometimes, they don't plan. We don't sit down and plan and have a strategy overall. It's always division. It's the black people over here, the Latino people over here, the so-called white people over there, and this group and that group and this corporation and all of that. All of these different facets that's going on. It seems to me that there's no unity, there's no solidarity. Even in the Democratic Party, it's all screwed up. We know the Republican Party, they try to unify, but the bottom line is they all screwed up too. You know, the only thing they got right now is they got a mouthpiece that don't care about and that is not shameful. He can say anything and do anything, and long as they get what they want, man. Because I'm talking a whole lot of stuff, but you look at what I'm saying. If you got, he's had over almost 100 judges, conservative judges. This is going to affect our lives. This man is crazy. I mean, he's doing exactly what they want to do. So I don't know.
Ted, hold it, Ted. Wait a minute. You're missing. You're sitting here and you're talking about all this stuff and everything. But yes, Ted, they have a plan. There's a plan, and you know that. You talked about their plan. You're just talking about their plan right now. They have a long-term plan to stay in power. When you spoke about education, they're not educating. What areas that they aren't educating? They're educating their kids.
That's right.
They're educating their kids because they are the ones that they want to be educated. The other part of the country, the minorities or whatever, they're not educating them because if they can keep them uneducated, they stay in control. You talk about the justice system. Yes, they're putting their conservative justices and stuff there into there because you got to control that branch of government. And if you can't control the legislative branch of government and the executive branch of government and stuff goes up and down all the time. But most of these judges that they're putting in got lifetime appointments. They're going to be in there for their life. So that means that they're looking at, and there's a plan there. Long term, they're going to be able to control what's going on in this country, even though they will quickly becoming a minority. You can see this in the election that's going on now. We thought by now that at least 2016 went by. If you looked at the population, the population of the white folks and stuff out there is falling down. And the minorities is going up. Minorities already passed them up now. But to stay in power, they rig the elections and stuff and everything. And they create all kinds of problems and stuff for people to get out there and vote. But like I said before, if you understand what your enemy is doing, it's easier to fight them. When you speak of all the money that's going on and them buying influence and stuff, they're controlling all the money. That is a plan and stuff for them. They want this to happen. But what we have to do is have our own plan. Forget about the Democrats, forget about the Republicans. We have to have our own plan. In our community, we have to have our own plan. We have to plan what we're going to be doing. And that is our problem because we can't find enough of us to plan to do something.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I totally agree with you. However, it takes people and it takes money.
Dan, and we spoke about this before, Ted. How much money goes through our community every year?
Yeah, very little.
No, it comes in our hand. It doesn't stay there that long. That's the problem. It doesn't stay. When that money hits our hands, it's gone within what? 2 minutes, 3 minutes, the money's gone.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
It's gone. It comes in our hand and it's right back out again. So we have to be in a position and stuff where like others, like the Jewish folks, like most of the white folks out there and the rich white people, when that money hit our hand, we have to do something with that money to sustain power. If you don't have that money in your hand very long, you're not going to be in power. You talk about the Saudi Arabians and stuff and everything. Their power comes from what? Oil.
That's right.
Now, what happens when their oil reserves and stuff go away? They are going to become poor again. They're going to become the same people who were back in biblical days, who were running around that desert and stuff and everything with nothing other than some tents and their goats and their sheep and everything that they're herding goats and sheep around the desert. That's it. But they found oil, and they created wealth for them. Yes, but now what most of them have done, just like the Crown Prince and stuff, and then all the other ones, they are investing there, they're taking their oil money and they're investing it into real stuff, real estate, stock markets, banks, or whatever. They're sending their people and stuff over here and everything so they can own the gas stations and stuff around here. You go into the black community, and almost everybody who owns a gas station over here is from one of them countries over there, whether it's Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, all of them folks, they own the gas station.
That's right.
They own the stores and stuff in our community and stuff. They came on here and they bought them. They're in our community and stuff, making money and stuff, using their wealth to take our wealth from us.
Absolutely. That's what.
So we have to figure out a way, Ted, and that should be our plan. How do we keep our wealth in our hands?
Well, let's look at that. Look at that, Ed. How do we keep that? Because see, we have organizations, non-profit organizations, that's supposed to be educating the people and really out there doing some things and not begging for advertising dollars so that you can have a banquet. So they're supposed to be, I'm talking about the NAACP. I'm talking about all of these different organizations that are supposed to be educating the people. And they're not using coming together. You got Black Lives Matter. You got all of these organizations that's supposed to be for the Black people, but they're not educating the people as a whole. I mean, but when you look at it, most Black people have to work a job, 2 jobs, a job and a half, just to sustain themselves. So they don't really have the time. So I don't know. And that's not an excuse. You have to make time. You got to spend your Saturdays, you got to spend your Sundays, you got to go into the churches, and you got to really commit yourself to solidarity and realize that you actually have an enemy that is taking your money, because right now, all of the revenue, the money that comes in to Black people, money that they make, we are if you put all our money together, we are probably in the top 10 as far as money, over $1.5 trillion. I mean, we're in the top 10 as far as money that we make, that African Americans, Black people make, and what we spend. And like you said, that money is gone in 2 to 5 seconds. Because after you pay your rent or your mortgage to that, whoever it is you paid it to, and you go buy your food that you buying from them, you know what I'm saying? And you pay your little cable bill or whatever you paying, phone bill and all that, your cell phone, you paying it to them, your money is gone. Your car note that you have to pay every month. So, your money is gone.
Well, Ted, I always listen to my father and my mother when I was a little boy, and those things and stuff hold true today. My mother always told me, I don't care how much you work with what you got, save something. Save something. If it ain't nothing but 2 pennies, save it. If it's a nickel, save it. Put it away. Right now, I have little pockets of stuff and everything, like a little squirrel. I done got a little pocket, a little change over here, pockets of change over there, pockets of change over there. And if I put it all together and stuff, I got a whole lot. I tell my children, my 2 daughters And I'm trying to get my son to deal with this stuff too, but he ain't listening yet. But my daughter started listening. Save something, baby. Put something away. Save it. Own something. Both of them own their own homes and stuff now. Put some money away and save it. That's your wealth. And we have to tell all of our children this. Put something away. That's your wealth. We have a lot of entities and stuff here, Ted, in this country that is where our wealth lies. Where is the richest wealth that we have in our community and stuff right now?
You're asking me that question?
Yeah. Where's the richest form of wealth in our country right now for all of us?
Well, if you're asking me, I mean, I would say our culture.
No, our wealth is in our churches.
Yeah, I agree to that.
That wealth lies in our churches. You go any place around here. I took a little excursion around and drove through the South. We've lost all of the businesses and everything. We don't own the stores. We don't own nothing. We don't do this. But I guarantee you, if you ride down through any of these little towns, even in our major cities and stuff, down in our community, in every street corner, there's a storefront church.
And you know what? You ain't never lied, because I went down to DeLand, Florida. DeLand, Florida is highly African American geographics in that area. And let me tell you, there was a church on every block.
Every block. Every block. Every block.
Nice churches.
Every block. You ride down through the countries, Ted. You ride down them back roads and stuff, and I guarantee you, you're going to see a church every 3 or 4 miles. You're going to see a church.
Yep.
That's where our wealth lies. Because those people are coming there and doing what? They're putting their pennies, their nickels, and their dimes into that offering plate.
And they're supporting, I have mixed feelings about that, because that's where a lot of people's faith lies. You're supporting your church. This is where they get solace. This is where they get peace. This is where they get encouragement. This is where they get, they network with each other. They have what they call fellowship. And that's a good thing mentally. But, after those services, they go out to eat. And then some of them eat at the church, and they bring in, different foods and what have you. And those types of foods that they fix are not healthy. Or
let's get back to wealth. You talking about something else. Let's get back to that wealth. You talking about something else. Get back to that wealth. Get back to wealth. Get back to the wealth. Now, we can deal with the health and stuff down the road in another topic. We're talking about wealth now. Where does that wealth lie? And I understand what you're talking about the health portion.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a quick story. When I first came to Florida, I had this pastor come to me and ask me he wanted to start a church here in Brandon, Florida. Do you realize I helped him work that church up, and we got memberships, and in less than a year, you know how much money that church was bringing in? Over $500,000 in just less than a year. Just by 300 or 400 members. Now double that, or get 1,200 members, 1,000 members. You bringing over $1 million a year into that church. That's just only 1,000 members or 1,200 members. So you got 10,000. You bringing in all kinds of money. Then don't even talk about the people are buying his DVDs, his tapes, all of that, and then they have special offerings and all of that. And by the time a small church of 3,000-4,000, $30 million is easy to bring in. A lot of that money, like you just said, is going into the churches. And what is the churches doing with it? Huh?
They are throwing it away. The pastor is walking away with all the money in his pocket so he can live an easy life. You look at all of our churches, man, wealth has taken us and just took us away. It's taken away all of our faith or anything that we have. And we see it all the time. Once you see a whole lot of money coming in, we get corrupted with wealth. I'm writing my own story here, just like you just wrote yours. We had a pastor and stuff that when we first came here to Georgia, we went down, we built that church up and everything, cleaned up the area around the church, took all the prostitutes away, all the drug dealers away and ran them away. They went out, the church went out, rebuilt the church up, put all kinds of money inside the church. Once the church started becoming successful, guess what happened? The pastor got corrupted. He took the money. He took his philosophy that he used to help build that wealth and stuff in that church and got corrupted and stuff and started taking the money and stuff for his own purposes and everything. We find out that he's out there, got 3 or 4 kept women and stuff in the church that he paying they rent and they notes and stuff on their homes, and he got them all doing all this other stuff. I mean, it was just a story of Sodom and Gomorrah. So before, as long as he was dealing with their wealth and stuff in a way, the church grew. Once that happened, the church just fell down. So we have to get rid of that corruption and stuff within our churches. And once that vision and stuff happens and stuff within the church and that wealth and stuff is built up, you have to leave that wealth there and spread it around. Spread the wealth out. You keep spreading the wealth out, you're going to get richer and you're going to get richer and your congregation is going to get richer and you're going to be able to build up something that the other folks and stuff in our society and stuff today has. Now, and I spoke about the churches and stuff there for a specific reason and stuff, because some people might look at, oh man, you're going to go in there, this is the Bible, we're going to be corrupting all of people's givings and stuff to the Lord and all this other stuff and everything. But we fail to understand that in the 50s, the late 50s and early 60s and stuff and everything, the seat of power to get us to where we are today is civil rights movement, voting rights, all of that. Where did it come from? Came from the church. Martin Luther King got the churches and stuff together, and they went out and said, we're going to stop this stuff. So we got to where we at today and everything by going through the churches and everything and getting people and stuff involved doing what they do.
Where did all our entertainers come from? The church.
In church.
The people with the voices.
Right. Didn't Elvis Presley get rich, and he's still rich and stuff right now and everything because he got most of his inspiration from the Church of God in Christ. Yeah. He went to the convocation in Memphis, Tennessee every year to listen to those folks sing, and he took what they did and everything and built wealth and stuff on that. Went out and started singing and created himself untold amounts of money and fame because of what he got out of the church. And you're right, a lot of stuff comes from that church, and we have to be able to say that is one part that we need to start building our wealth and stuff in. We're looking at another part and stuff to where we can say that we get positive things going on now. We spoke about all the ugly stuff that are going on for the voting and stuff that's going on now, but we fail to look back and everything that in your state, you have the greatest possibility that there ever is to elect a Black governor for the state of Florida,
which is huge.
Unheard of. You have in Georgia, right north of Florida, a huge possibility to elect a black woman to be the governor of the state of Georgia.
Huge.
Also, you've got another chance to have, and nobody talking about him, but Ben Jealous has a chance to become the black governor of Maryland.
Huge.
Huge stuff going on and stuff here that if don't but one of them or two out of the three and stuff become elected and stuff, it is going to be huge and stuff in this country that this has even happened. It was unheard of to have this, especially in the seat of Georgia, where Governor Maddox and stuff in the 60s and stuff stood on the steps of the University of Georgia and said he ain't letting no niggas enter into his university at all. And to have this to happen now in the year 2018, to where there's a possibility that there's going to be a black woman standing up there and sitting there in his seat as governor of this state.
Well, that's huge, and it shouldn't have taken that long. But there are
It's
people
coming.
people
It's
are
here.
holding on. They're
That's
holding
it.
on.
That's here. And use that. We need to use that and stuff. And I'm hoping that when girlfriend get in the office and when brother man get down in office and stuff, that they use that pulpit and everything to do good and stuff for not only the people of the state of Florida, but also to our community and stuff there in those areas and those pockets and stuff of the country and stuff. We really need to have positive things and stuff happen and everything for them, and to let our children know that you don't have to be a ball player to become famous. You don't have to be a ball player to make a lot of money. You don't have to be a rap star and stuff and everything to make money. You can make money other ways. There's some avenues and stuff out there that are available to them other than doing that. So instead of shooting to be the ball player, a baseball, football, or basketball player, you can other avenues, or to shoot to be the best rapper and stuff out there, or whatever, be another Cardi B or whatever. And there's other avenues and stuff out there to make money other than selling drugs and creating a mess in our communities. So it's a step, and we need to look at that. We already had our first black president. He came out, he did what he had to do. He made us very, very proud as a nation and as a community and stuff and everything about what he did. And I'm hoping that he was an example for those coming up behind him who's going to be in those governorships and everything. And those governorships lead to being into the executive branch of government, to that White House. So it's a stepping stone.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but let's look at the real world. And I'm hoping they both get in the office. All three of them get in the office. However, the real world is that who controls those state houses?
Ted, you have to get there first. You have to get there first and then start talking about it once you get there, because the dynamics and stuff of what happens. We understand that if Stacey Abrams and stuff get into that daggone governor's seat and everything, that there are going to be a lot of people sitting out there and stuff who are going to be pulling her here and yonder and whatever to get things done and try to control her to whatever. And that she's only has the power of the executive branch. She doesn't have the power of the legislative branch.
Right.
And trust me, Ted, those white folks and stuff who are Republicans who are in those legislative branches and stuff and everything are looking at this. If they do get there, what are we going to do to stop them, to stop their agenda? So, but we have to get there first and everything to then to start dealing with what the heck happens then. Once they get into office and everything, then we start dealing with how we use that power that they have just maintained. How can you use that executive branch of government and everything to make yourself better? You're not going to get everything you want just because she came there into office or Andrew gets in office. You ain't going to get everything you want there in Florida.
Okay, I hear you talking, but you got some people. It's just like when President Obama went into office. He was doing everything he can to try to do different things. Right now, there are so many people in Chicago and in certain parts of the country that's dogging him right now because he didn't do enough for black folks. That's right now.
You're going to have that, Ted. That's a reality.
Let me finish. Okay, now I like what Gilliams is saying, what he's saying. And he said, we gonna dig up the bones. Basically, that's what he's saying. We're gonna find out where this money's at, where it's going, and all of that. Because I'm gonna get in there and see where all of this money's going. Because they get so many millions and millions of dollars from this lottery. They get millions and millions of dollars from the federal government. Where is it all going? And how come our educational school system is like in the bottom, what? in the 45 or 46 condition, out of all the states in the country. And this right here, we are the third largest state in the country as far as population.
Mm-hmm.
So, and all kinds of money comes into this country because of tourism. Where is that money going?
Into the state, not the country.
Or no, did I say country? I meant state.
You said country. You said state. You meant state. Yes.
State.
Go ahead.
Over 100 million people come to this state alone for tourism. And that's a lot of money. And it's going to a lot of different businesses, hotels, whatever. So the thing is, those people have to pay tax dollars. And where's all that money going? And so he's going to dig the bones up. If he get elected, and then he's going to distribute, hopefully, that money into the right channels where it won't be going to all of these rich suburban areas and influencing their thing, because they got enough money. They need to start investing into these other communities, and so we'll see. And that's what I'm hoping that would happen.
If you look at history and stuff, Ted, we understand, at least I do, and there are a few other people out there who understand about history and stuff and what happens and stuff here. We've had these things and stuff happen before. I look at back in '85 in the city of Chicago, they elected a black mayor, Mayor Washington, Harold Washington, smartest man in the world. Okay. He got into the executive branch of power in the city of Chicago. When he got into there, those Republican aldermen, they call them the Bredoliac 26, I guess. I'm pretty sure that's what they were. They held that legislative branch and stuff and created all kinds of problems for Harold. But once he got into his second term and stuff and everything, then he was able to do some things and stuff, get those other folks and stuff out of office, and to be able to get some positive things and stuff done for the South Side and the West Side of Chicago. But once he got killed, well, they said he died of a heart attack, but we don't know. In Chicago, we don't know what happened to him. They say he died of a heart attack. We don't know. We still don't know today if he died of a heart attack. But anyway, we go forward and stuff in 2018. Andrew knows where that money is at. He knows where that money is at. He's not stupid. He knows where it's at. But he also knows and stuff and everything that to get into that office and stuff, he has to bring forth those little things and stuff that allow him to get himself elected to get into office. Now, once he gets into office, we know, and just like you just said, they're not going to let him do a whole heck of a lot. If you are feeding at the trough with the rest of the hogs, and I call them hogs, they're feeding at the trough. They got that money flowing into that trough and they're feeding at it. If you look at used to be a little farmer, Ted, you know what happens when you throw food into the trough.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them hogs going to be down there. They're going to be pushing the other hog away so he can get the most money. Andrew comes in there, the little bitty hog, and try to stop these hogs from eating up out of the trough. They gonna fight him, tooth and nail. Now, Andrew gonna be able to get a little bit of the feed and stuff out the trough, but he ain't gonna be able to get all. And we have to realize that. And that's something that when we talk about the election and stuff and what's going on in these midterms, okay, once your people get in office, you're gonna have to follow them. Yep. You're going to have to be their strength. You're going to have to be their backbone. You're going to have to be their conscience for the next 4 years and let them know that you are behind them. And they're going to be some of us, Ted, who ain't going to like what Andrew is doing or Stacey's going to be doing or Ben Jealous is going to be doing. They ain't going to like it. Our own people are going to persecute them. But we have to hold them up. Just like they tried to there was some folks out there trying to persecute Obama. What those two guys, Professor West, whatever his name, Tavis Smiley and West, they were trying to be a thorn in Obama's side for a long time.
What is it?
I understand. They ain't nowhere. They ain't nowhere now, but they were a thorn in his side. They were a thorn in his side for a long time, but they are irrelevant now. You don't know where they at. Tavis lost all of his stuff and everything because somebody said he done did something to some woman, so he done faded away really bad. But those people and stuff and everything, Ted, are going to happen and stuff when these people get into office. You're going to find them, and we have to let our folks and stuff know. Say, hey, Andrew is only in the executive branch. She can only do so much. Stacey is in the executive branch. She can only do so much. But we have to empower them once they get into office to do what they needed to do, stay in power. The same thing as happening with Trump. We know that man's a crook and a thief or whatever he is, and he's out for himself, but his folks are still sitting out there supporting him. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Trump. You can do what you want to do because they don't want him to take their food out their trough.
I agree.
Okay, so now that we know that he is going to be there, then we deal with what the heck happens at the trough once he gets a chance to be there with the pigs to eat out of their trough. So, oh man, that's an analogy and stuff that I brought out and hoping that people understand. And I'm not saying that the Republicans are pigs or hogs or whatever and everything, but it's a simple analogy that we can look at and everything and say, this is what's going to happen.
They got to make it plain because
they do, and they have to keep on planning, and we have to support him and her and all the rest of them who are in office, even the people and stuff in local offices, because we talked about this, Ted, and they got them people at the top in these midterms, these governorships and everything, but there's also down elections and stuff that we have to deal with also, because you have to control. That's what in 2010 the Republicans had a plan that we lost the executive branch in 2008, but we're going to get these local offices and stuff and everything that's going to keep pressure and stuff on him, and the fruits of their labors have come to bear. That fruit is bearing fruit now for them. Well, and that fruit comes with the state legislators and stuff and everything stopping people from voting, so they can't put these folks in office.
Here's the thing: you got, just like I guess you would call them ministers, pastors, whatever. Politicians are the same thing. Some people go into these positions for just one purpose: to make money. That's all they go into. They go into office just to make money. Hey, I can be a congressman. Hey, I can be a commissioner. Hey, I can do this, and I can make me $100,000 here, and I can go some speeches, and I can do this, write me a book, and they go in there just for the money. But the one thing that you can make money, there's nothing wrong with making money. I'm not dogging that. But the point is that when you're doing the people's business, when you have people that are really care about doing the right thing and spreading the wealth, all the funds that comes in from the federal, state, counties, all of that, and distributing those funds correctly, You know, it's just like these universities, you know, they hire all kinds of other people outside the state to bring in and hire people to do that instead of hiring local people to do the job. So the point is that as long as those people realize and they bring in the right people that's not going to be bought off. And it's hard because it takes advertising dollars. That's the reason why they freed up, you know, where you can give as much money as you want, you can advertise as much as you want instead of going out there talking to the people. I get, man, I must have gotten in my PO box hundreds of flyers. Hundreds of flyers. Ain't nobody knocked on my door to talk about no politics. But I get hundreds of flyers. I get calls every day on my cell phone want to talk politics. But you don't see nobody coming to my door. You don't see no congressman walking to my door. So, you know, get somebody that's out there that's honest, somebody that's, you know, get somebody who don't care about the money. And that's the reason why 45 got it off, because they thought he didn't care about the money, but that was a big lie. I just want to throw that in because he making money hand over fist. Talking about I'm a billionaire. I don't care. I'm worth $10 billion. Yeah, right. So, you know.
Well, Mr. Harvey, we are getting close to the end of our hour and stuff here. I'm looking at this clock, and we're gonna have to wrap up. So, you got anything else that you want to bring about? Because we have a lot to say and stuff out there to our folks and stuff who are listening to this.
Well, I'm gonna say this. This is the only thing I'm gonna say. Like my mama used to always tell me, pray about it.
Pray about it.
Pray about it. God does still answer prayers.
He does do that.
And
he
so
does
I'm
do that.
And praying, just like I'm praying for those people and that went through that Michael situation.
Mm-hmm.
So many hundreds of thousands of people that are right now. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's homeless.
Absolutely. And they're suffering and stuff horribly bad.
Yeah.
And we have to, I know that a lot of us out there are struggling ourselves. And just like you said, all of us don't have a lot of money or whatever to go out there and help them. But you can do one thing, you can pray for them.
Yeah. And that's the main thing, because God answers prayers, because people with money might be hard on a lot of things, but God can change a person's heart that might have 50 million or 100 million just to give to help people get themselves settled in, because it looks like, you know, the government can only do so much and they can do a lot more than what they're doing. But the point is that when you got people with money, they can go in there and help build these people, get them water, get their electricity going. And then hopefully that money goes to the right places, because, you know, it's so many scams out there right now. It's crazy.
Oh man. Every time you have a natural disaster, Ted, there's scam artists and stuff out there, man, ripping folks off. They like the buzzards and stuff flying around the carcass. Mm-hmm. They see their little old thing down there getting ready to die, and so they just go around there and they fly down and pick up whatever they can and stuff off to finish them off. And that's horrible and stuff that we have this, but it is a reality and stuff that's out there. Just like we have these folks that are flying around, these older people and stuff and everything. And you talk about you getting these phone calls and stuff all the time. Ted, I get these phone calls come in there, and these people sit down there and they're telling me the IRS is coming to get you. We got the police is out there getting ready. You have an indictment and stuff against you because you did this. So you need to call us up and we can get this indictment off you. All these are a scam. And it's horrible, man. And they're targeting, and they have a targeted audience that they deal with. In any natural disasters, they target them. Older people, they target them. Our young folks, they target them. Ted, these kids and stuff are right now have debt and stuff on them right now, getting through college and everything. They struggling to get through that.
$1.5 trillion.
Dollars. They have debt sitting there waiting on them. But then you got these vultures still flying around them. They are sending these kids credit cards.
Yep.
And some of these kids are grabbing these credit cards and everything and have no idea the amount of interest and stuff that they are charging them on these daggone credit cards. They don't look at it. All they say, oh man, that's some free money that I can deal with. They're getting ready to graduate, walk down the aisle and have and they piling more debt on top of them because they have no idea of what is getting ready to happen to them. So they're getting ready to eat up their future earnings.
That's right.
So these things and stuff are going on, and we have to tell our kids and stuff and everything. We have to deal with them. You know, our grandson's getting ready. He's in this last year, getting ready to go. Man, these vultures is on him big time. So my wife and I, we're trying to be able to keep these things away from him to help him to get through those little bit of things. He got a car and everything now. So anything that goes wrong with it, we have to get it fixed for him so he don't go out there and get himself in debt again, some more debt, so he can keep his little car running so he can get back and forth from school. So, you know, it's something that we can afford to do, but we have to do it if we want him to get out with just that educational debt and stuff on him, student loans or whatever, to get him through school. And if he's only got that on him and we can keep these credit card debts and stuff off him, at least he's got a chance to make it on his own and stuff out there. So we have to do that. And I know you got grandkids and stuff and everything who are off in college or whatever. Yeah. You have to talk to them about that, man. We have to enlighten them. Leave these credit cards alone for a while. If you do get one, look at the interest rates and stuff on them. Some of them people, man, up interest rates are 33 and 39% interest and stuff on these daggone things. But these kids look at it and they give them $5,000 on it, and they go out there, and next thing they know, they in $5,000 in debt, but they paying all kind of interest on that daggone money. It's horrible what's going on. So those are some of the things that we need to talk about and stuff down the road here during our telecast, and hopefully we'll enlighten some of our folks.
Yeah, we got to really do some stuff on Betsy DeVos, because she is really scamming these students.
Hey, they out there, Ted. They out there, and you know, there most of the people out there. When Trump said that he was going, when he was doing his campaign, I'm going to bring in these billionaires to help us, and they don't need to have any money because they're billionaires. Well, these billionaires take these cabinet positions and stuff, and all they're doing is out there helping their friends and stuff to become even richer. And nobody even thought about that when he said all that. We looked at, oh yeah, they might be okay, you know, bringing in these billionaires. They don't need any money because they're billionaires. Well, they became billionaires because they stole it. and they come in the office now and they sit in these executive positions and stuff, and they stealing more.
And the thing about it, you know, we just lost a billionaire last week. What's his name?
Paul Allen.
And you know, I read a little bit about him years ago, and I never really kept up with him, but I know he bought a basketball team. He had the Seattle
Seahawks. Seattle Manor. Yeah, the Seahawks.
All that. And so, and he seemed like he was a fairly decent guy because he did some things, but he died of cancer at 65 years old. Man got all the money in the world. He was co-founder of Microsoft with Bill Gates.
Yep.
So you can't take your money with you. Now you got all these billions of dollars. You could have helped so many people in so many causes. I'm talking about real causes. I ain't talking about these make-believe causes and, you know, a little money here and a little money there and building up medical centers where people can, you know, feed them drugs and they end up dying. I'm talking about going into places and really being involved and engaged. So I'm hoping, you know, this is a wake-up call. Because none of us are guaranteed, bro. None of us are guaranteed.
We understand that. Anything else you want to say, Ted? We are over, man. We are over. We're about 5 minutes over our time. So are you done, man? You want to say anything else?
All I gotta say is pray about it.
Pray about it, people. Pray about it. And thanks for listening to us. I'll have this telecast up probably for the end of the week, so you guys can view it and stuff on Facebook and on YouTube. So I keep praying about everything also, Ted. I keep praying that God gives me the strength to keep on doing what we're doing. We're almost up to 100 recorded videos and stuff out there now on YouTube. So we are asking the audience to come out there and support us. You know, we're doing this stuff on a shoestring budget.
Oh, and, that's less than that.
Less than a shoestring budget. So what you guys are seeing and stuff out there and all this stuff, these earphones and cameras we got here, you know, and microphones, you know, it's our own personal stuff, and we're doing this because we love our community. We don't do this because we have to do this because of money. We do this because we love our community, and we want to help our people and stuff out there, because it's sickening and sad for us to see what's going on out there. I feel terribly bad and stuff about us, about our people and stuff who can't make it, who working 2 and 3 jobs and stuff out there, and they struggling every day. Man, it is not pretty, Ted.
No, it's not.
It is not pretty, man. It is not pretty, and I want
a whole other conversation now. You know, I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just that thing inside of me, man, because I'm feeling emotional and stuff. Like when you start praying about it, I start thinking about, you know, all those other folks and stuff out there who we are doing this stuff for. It's man, I don't know. We just have to keep going, and just like every time we have a telecast, we keep going, because we can't give up.
No, we're not going to give up.
We're not going to give up, and we have the support, and our family is starting to support us and stuff now. And I mean, I know my wife; she supports me now. At first, when I started this stuff, she wasn't supporting me, but when I come out here now and do my telecast, she doesn't say anything. How did it go or whatever after I get off? So.
Yeah, and you know, just to let the people know, you know, we're not perfect, and you know, we made mistakes in our lives, and we are really, you know, we are learned people, you know, and educated people. But we're you know, I mean, Ed, you're more academic than I am, because you know, you history major, you know, I was a business major, and the thing is that we just try to do the right and say the right things to the best of our ability. Our motives are not to downgrade anybody. We just want to inform people and talk about things that are interesting to us, and things that, one of the things that interesting to me is following that money. That's the main thing right now. Power and money. Ed, you know all where the power is in the politics, you know, and I read all kinds of things about money and where that money is going, and I try to put it in as simplistic way as possible, because it's really, really simple. It really is.
And most of our folks out there, Ted, don't believe it's that simple. They're looking at it and stuff, and I keep telling all the young people that I meet, hey man, hey young lady, the money is out there. You just got to go out there and get it. It's out there. It's there. It's there. It's all around you. It's all around you. And most of them don't believe that it's there. You just use your head, use your mind, think, and open your eyes and see what's going on. You can create wealth, your own wealth. Bill Gates and Paul Allen, just like you just said, Ted, when they started out in a little garage and stuff and everything. These folks are what? Multi-billionaires now. Bill Gates, one of the almost second richest person in the world right now, and he started out in a little garage. He built wealth. You have to build your own wealth, and there's a possibility. There's startups going on all the time, Ted, and you read about it, don't you?
Oh yeah.
They get money here, they get money there. They got started a little company now, and they already doing IPO, and IPO is worth what, $1 billion or whatever. So these people are getting rich.
Uber, 100 already valued at $160 billion. They getting ready to go to IPO next year.
Oh man! And just for doing lit, driving, using something to drive around to get a car.
That's it. using somebody else's time and money.
And they're getting rich off of it.
That's right.
Money is out there.
Come up with an idea, because there's a lot of creative people out there right now.
It is, man. There's so much stuff going on out there. It is now, and they talk about the job. Ain't no job out there. We forget about the manufacturing job. Go out there and create your own stuff.
Yeah, well, it's jobs out there. It's almost 6 million jobs out there. Right?
Yeah, it create your own stuff and everything. Even with those 6 million jobs out there, somebody needs to create something where they have a company and stuff that brings in applications and stuff, so they can tell people where these 6 million jobs are at. Hey man, this is the job over there. You go over there and talk to these people over there who have these jobs, because the people who own these jobs and stuff, that they don't have time to go out and find a good employee. That could be somebody else's job, man. Finding people and stuff who fit into their niche, who fit into their company.
That's right.
And the people pay you and stuff for that, buddy.
And people are looking for diversity.
Absolutely.
Because, I worked in Fortune 500 and companies, and usually I was the only black person in the whole doggone company. I mean, not in the whole company, but in that department. Mm-hmm. So the point is, look for that's a good opportunity where you can create diversity, and bring in people. You have to go in there and talk to corporate world, and they're looking for diversity. Because, the job hunters right now, they mostly all, Caucasian, and what they're going to do, they're going to interview people that they feel comfortable with. Anyway, that's another thing.
That's another time, man. We done went way, way over, but thanks people for listening to us. We hope you come back and listen to us again. When we reach that milestone of 100 videos, I'm going to do a big celebration. We're going to holler and scream and throw balloons up.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Go for it.
Bye, people.
Hey baby, what you trying to do? Spent the night just trying to find you. You the hottest one under the sun, and I'm under your spell. We stuck just like glue. You ain't got the free crib, oh well. You and me can head to the hotel. Whatever we do, just don't tell. I don't need anybody all on my coattail. I feel your energy and I ain't trying to fight it. Your vibe is way too exciting. I know I'm who you wanna ride with. Don't fake it, I know that you like it.
It's more than just emotions. I get more emotions. All you gotta do is focus. Nothing